On Grady Hill by Brent Noury. Read by Brent Noury. Chapter 14. Samuel's Journey to Eutopia. After Samuel was done telling me the story of Charleston's place, I sat in wonderment about a lot of things, and one particular thing that had been on my mind about Samuel's spelling of our town. I finally spoke up and said it. Samuel, why did you choose to spell our town with a U in Eutopia, as in nowhere or no place, instead of the Latin prefix EU, as in Eutopia, good place? And Samuel said, maybe one day we will be in just a good place, with nothing bad and no hardship. But until then, we're just another place, like others, in the wilderness of it all. Nowhere, no place, just like everywhere else. Eutopia. Over the next years, as the town grew, and Adam and Bradley Samuel came into this world, my life became mostly up here on the hilltop, watching the farm side become more lush than ever. I spent many a days along with Mrs. Heather before her passing, doing picnics on top hillside, watching the town being built by the day. After Mrs. Heather's passing, Winston Charleston developed the forgetful syndrome, and he required help full time, being he couldn't carry a memory but 30 seconds or so. During this time, quite often, in the early morning around sunrise or in the evenings around sunset, Winston would be found by Mr. Arthur Faraday or Tabitha as they were opening the pastry shop, and Mr. Charleston would be in the center of the street looking up towards Grady Hilltop, asking about where the silhouette was. Would she be coming soon? In the evening, it was even more confusing because he didn't know where the sun was. Why is it rising on the wrong side? He would say. As it were, Eutopia rose up all around Haven Street. The railroad came through. Eutopia became a blossoming place for hope and dreams. Sammy would sleep well during this period. Then came Samuel's last hike with me up hillside. Dr. Ford Jr. said Samuel's heart finally gave way. Anyhow, we was coming up hillside, and Samuel stopped at Jacqueline Turn as he had before, and I walked up to near top. When I looked back to Samuel, he was looking up towards Jacqueline Ledge. Then he turned his gaze down hillside towards the town. He studied it in that moment, and I still see him there. Then he turned up hillside and started his climb, with walking cane in hand. He paused for an eternity. He glanced towards me, and I watched Samuel collapse to the ground along the side of his mountain. Now, children, the reason I tell the story every year, and the reason we celebrate Samuel Grady Day, is sort of a strange paradox in that it's not really about Samuel. It's about how everyone has their part to play, and everyone makes Eutopia. It reminds us of the life that we're celebrating, Not just one, but all of them. Now, this is probably my way of saying that the story is over, and let's all head out to Hilltop where we can see Haven Street and the celebration is going on. There's plenty of food to eat on the table, and Miss Evangeline, I'll be sure to save you a piece of cheesecake to take home with you. And speaking of, Bradley Samuel, I really do need you to take Jem's chest of memories off my hand. They're just sitting there collecting dust, and you and Miss Evangeline could really write out a whole adventure out of Jem's past. Miss Evangeline, you could take pieces of Jem's adventures and make up a whole world with it. Put your own touches and thoughts and dreams on it, like I do with my Samuel story. End of chapter 14.